Hello, everyone. Welcome to week five. It is week five, which means there's only 3 weeks left, so we are kind of on the home stretch, or leading up to the home stretch, I guess. So I just wanted to what I'm going over here is basically the same content of this announcement, but I wanted to provide some additional details and also just again, it's nice to sort of touch base face to face, as it were. So this week, your lesson 8 questions are due on Wednesday. The theme is sustainable buildings. So this is something that I feel like a broken record here, but it's relevant. There's sustainable buildings all over the place, and you'll go over things like LEED, L-E-E-D, which is a sustainable building rating system, the most common one that's used in the U.S. and all over the world. We'll go over more robust ones like the Living Building Challenge, which is the most holistic and robust building sustainability rating system in the world. Like, it's really, really thorough. Kind of hits all of these concepts that we've gone over in this class, from net zero water, net zero energy, equity, beauty, social justice, all this stuff. And believe it or not, it's part of the building rating system for living buildings. So that's kind of one of the focuses. We'll go over the difference between those two rating systems. There's LEED buildings all over the place. Delaware Tech has multiple LEED certified buildings. So this is something that you'll certainly encounter if you're paying attention. They're all over the place. We'll also go over passive solar design, which is sort of a set of principles to help you reduce the energy use in your building. These are, as you'll see, principles that have been applied for actually thousands of years. These are things that humans have known how to do for a really long time. South facing, to capture most sunlight in the winter, that sort of thing. But it goes well beyond that. So we'll go over those basic principles. This is something you can apply moving forward. If you're not sort of plugged into the whole green building movement, so to speak, it's really important. The state of Delaware, for example, starting in 2025, all residential buildings in the state, all new residential buildings, have to be built to be net zero energy capable. And we've talked a little bit about net zero energy, but what that means is that you have the capability to provide all of your own energy through renewable generation. So that's what net zero capable means. So in other words, they're going to have to start using passive solar design principles like south facing, so you can capture that sunlight, minimize your energy loss through high levels of insulation and air sealing and so forth. So this is stuff that's happening. So it's really helpful for anybody that's plans on, living in a house at some point in their life. This is applicable. So hopefully you get something out of it, even if you're not in the building or the energy industry per se. So that's this week. We'll also go over the tiny home, what a tiny home is, and some this concept of cooperative housing, which again is something that's used all over the world. Your case study presentation is due on Wednesday. I think you all know that. I provided feedback on all your case study proposals. I gave you this feedback, but just please make sure that it's a case study. So not a concept, but an actual real world example of something that's happening or has happened that uses a concept from this class. There are basically infinite possibilities here, but a lot of you were a little off track on what's considered an actual case study. So a case study is like, this is happening, right? So I go over case studies a lot. You think about the Coca-Cola in India, or the cement plant in Camden, right? Those are real world examples of things that are happening. Like this week, you'll see examples of specific buildings that integrated a bunch of sustainability aspects to them. That's a case study. You could basically any topic. You could look at water issues in some country somewhere. You could look at coastal water issues in Delaware. That's a real world example, right? So case study. It has to be something that's like tangible. Okay, so make sure that you adhere to that. And there's just no shortage of examples. You could walk down the street and find a case study of like a non-native species, or too much development and too many sidewalks that prevents that overburdens the sewer system. All of these are real world examples of things that are going on. Okay, so make sure you do that. So on Wednesday, you post your case study to the case study discussion board, but you also post your case study to the case study assignment link. So there's 2 links. The discussion board, you're going to then watch at least 2 other and comment on at least 2 other case studies by the end of the week. The case study assignment link, that's what I'll just grade your presentation. Okay, so that just make sure, remember, you're submitting a video twice. Now it can be a PowerPoint presentation that has sound recording, that's fine. I use, right now I'm using Screencast-O-Matic, which I like because you can sort of, if you mess up, you can pause and go back and so forth, and you can record your screen. So that's where I do all of my, all those recorded presentations I do on Screencast-O-Matic. So I think that's a pretty good way to do it. And then personally, I just, I have my YouTube site and I just upload it to YouTube, and then I can post a link from YouTube. Or you can just record it on Screencast-O-Matic, it's free. And you can download the video file, the MP4 file, and then you can just post the MP4 file too. So if you have any issues with that, let me know. Okay, so that's case study. Just submit the same exact thing twice this week. And then on Sunday, remember this is by Sunday, so I suggest getting it done by Saturday to leave yourself time. But there's a few folks that requested Sunday due date, so we'll keep it to Sunday. So Sunday, there's a couple things to do. Your lesson 9 quiz, which is natural resource management. Really, important topic. You hear me say that a lot, but this is all important. So natural resource management is waste management, basically. So circular resource, the idea of going beyond just recycling and composting to other more, effective ways to manage our resources. So things like cradle-to-cradle design. Basically, these are sort of advanced concepts. We need to really just have this circular resource flow instead of this linear flow where normally we extract something, we manufacture it, we ship it, we use it, and then we throw it out, right? It's this linear process, take, make, and waste. And so the theme for lesson 9 is making it more circular. So don't throw things out. Everything should be reused. Everything should be reintegrated back into the system, and we should do it all with renewable energy. So that's circular resource flow, which is an absolutely core fundamental theme to this class and to sustainability in general. We have to start using things more circularly. The future has to be circular. Has to be. We're going to run out. We're going to hit resource constraints, if nothing else. Maybe we don't run out, but we hit constraints. It becomes really expensive. So we have to start thinking in these more circular ways. And we've hit on that theme in some of the earlier content of the course, but this is really sort of some concrete examples of how you can do that. Okay, so that's lesson 9. And then so also due on Sunday is your everyday object paper. Okay, so remember, don't forget that. You made that proposal a couple weeks ago. Everyone's really on a good place with that in terms of their proposal. This is not a huge research paper, folks. I mean, 3 to 5 pages is absolutely sufficient for this. Okay, double spaced. So I can't stress this enough. Just read the assignment and just find out exactly what I want in that paper, right? So there's you have to analyze 3 things and put your sources in, etc. Just make sure you stick to that. Look at the rubric, which is exactly how I grade. And that's half the battle, just knowing what goes in the paper. Okay, 3 to 5 pages. I mean, there's no shortage of information you can find on all of your topics. So that's due on Sunday as well. And just submit that, of course, through D2L. Sunday also, you have your final project proposal. So I need you to start thinking about that. Your final project, which I've mentioned a few times. So this is actually a sustainability issue and public education campaign. So read the assignment for details, but the idea here is that you analyze the sustainability problem that's happening right now. You propose a solution or a partial solution, set of solutions. But the third element is that you propose how you are going to educate the general public about this topic. Okay? So there's any number of ways that you can do that. Social media is a good way, writing an op-ed, whatever. And then you actually get bonus points if you deploy your public education campaign. So if you say I'm going to post this information about this issue to social media, to my Facebook account, to my Instagram account, whatever, that's great. if you provide the details, if you actually do that, if you post to Facebook, post to Instagram, wherever, whatever you, TikTok, I don't, whatever you decide to do, if you actually do that and then you submit proof that you did it, you get bonus points. And so the idea here, I think, is pretty clear. You want to, we need to educate people about these issues. And so I want you to use your creativity and initiative to figure out a way to do that. You don't have to post, you don't have to do it. You can just propose it, and then you can still get full credit. But again, you can earn extra credit points if you do that. So your proposal for that is due, it's just a topic proposal that's due at the end of the week. If you're working in a group, you have to tell me who's in your group by the end of the week as well. Okay, and again, there's 5% bonus on that final project if you just for working in a group. I'd strongly suggest it because there's these three themes, right? Like there's the problem, the solution, and the public education campaign. You can really break it apart really easily, at least into 3 components, if not more. So it's not too bad to work on a group as long as you're all on the same page. But you do get extra credit for that just for working in a group. So that if you are working in a group, it's due on your group membership is due on Sunday. There's the discussion board, as I've mentioned a couple times, to find group partners. So feel free to do that, or you can just send an email out to the group, whatever you want to do. So that's due Sunday. Okay, so it's another busy week. I've been enjoying reading your question answers. I feel like a lot of you are really, you're really thinking deeply about the content, which is great. I think you're recognizing the importance of it. So keep it up. Only a few more weeks to go. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know. All right, have a great week.